All right, this was about the YSL trial. This is about Young Thug's, one of his affiliates, Kenneth Copeland, a.k.a. Little Woody. He took immunity, and then when he got on the stand, he wound up pleading the fifth, and they incarcerated him. Sit back. I'm going to break this all down and how this thing play out and what that means when you take immunity, when you plead the fifth, and when they incarcerate you for not going through with your contractual agreement with the federal government. Alright? Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. Subscribe while the intro is playing. Let's get this thing popping. You know how we do. Let's go. Like, subscribe, and share. Alright, you know what it is. Unique Mecca Audio, man. Yo, we got Young Thug up here, man. He going through it. He been going to trial for a minute. Nobody knows how long this trial is going to play out, but this is going to play into the situation that I'm breaking down about Kenneth Copeland, who, pled the fifth when he got on the stand after he took immunity. Now, let me tell you what immunity is. Immunity is when you agree to tell the prosecution everything, and they can't use anything you say against you, even if you committed a crime. So this is like your what they call queen for a day, where you can tell them everything you did for that day. And once you tell them everything, then, that's what it is. They can't charge you with it, but it's just for what go on that day. Now we're on immunity. Let me play this video, and I'm going to show you how it played out when Kenneth Copeland got in there and tried to get on the stand. All right, let's go. This is how it plays.
All right, Mr. Copeland, go ahead and approach the witness stand. Before you sit down, if you would turn and face Deputy Hand and be sworn as a witness.
You swear affirm testimony to everybody get a quarter of the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth help. Maybe see if you state your first and last name with the spelling of both, please.
You say that again?
State your first and last name with the spelling of both, please.
Kenneth Copeland.
Mr. Copeland, do me a favor. Pull your chair up as close as you can to the microphone and speak directly into it so we can all hear you. So if you could state and spell your first and last name for the record, please.
Kenneth Copeland.
Spell it, please.
KennethCopeland.
All right, thank you, sir. All right.
And Mr. Copeland, good afternoon. Do you want to be here?
Ma'am,
Do you want to be here?
I'm here.
Okay. Well, are you going to let me ask you some questions?
Okay.
How old are you?
Grown.
Okay, what does grown mean?
I'm an adult.
Okay. And when you say you're an adult, what number in years are you?
I plead the fifth.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I get you to step outside to your headquarters of jury deliberation, please? From
All right, for sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Our jury has left us. Mr. Copeland, given the fact that you have invoked your Fifth Amendment privilege, but the state has already given you immunity under 24-5-507, this court holds you in willful contempt, and we'll see you on Monday. And we'll see if we can get some more testimony at that point in time.
Now, that's what went on. All right, he got on the stand, he pled immunity, and now they incarcerated him. Now, let me explain to what immunity is. Like I said, immunity is when you tell them everything and you agree to cooperate. So this young man, he cooperated. He told them everything they wanted to hear. They felt it was a good deal. He got arrested with a gun in a car. So they said, we're going to throw that charge out, or we're going to reduce the sentence on that. But we need you to get information on YSL and Young Thug to help us convict him. He gave them a ton of information. They loved the information. They documented the information. They told him he won't be charged for any of that information. He was not going to be charged for that information, but now I guess from watching the other, witnesses testify and how it got played out on social media, he felt he didn't want to be labeled a rat bastard. But let me tell you it like this so you understand. Too late, my brother. Once you sit down with the government and you give them information and, to help to convict a man, indict a man, and put him in custody so that he could lose his life or liberty, then that means that you are now officially working for the government and you switch sides and you a rat bastard. There's nothing you could do to undo that. So no one explained this to this young man, Woody. That's his name, Little Woody. Right? Little Woody must not have a big homie to let him know, you already talked, my dog. So you labeled a rat bastard. You know what I mean? So that's what that is. So now you can't go back on your word and say, well, I ain't going to testify, and now I could go back to being official because I didn't testify. No, you gave them enough information to get them to this far in the stage of the game where now they're prosecuting and trying to take your comrade's life and liberty away from them. So there's nothing you could do about that. That's a wrap. You understand? So now, you got immunity. Immunity is so, like I said, you can't be charged with anything that you speak of. So, now he pleads the fifth. Now they lock him up. Right? We had this happen before in a big case with the Susan McDougal and the Bill Clinton. I think it was the Whitewater thing or something like that. Hold up. Let's take over for a ride. Let's go for a ride, man. Let's go for a ride. All right. Back when Bill Clinton was going through, I think it was, one of those congressional joints. They was trying to get the grand jury on him, whatever it was. It's very vague to me. But Susan McDougal was one of his homegirls, and she refused to testify. And being that she refused to testify, they locked her up until the course of the proceeding. I think that proceeding took maybe 18 months. So she stayed in jail 18 months, and she definitely get a round of applause because she kept it gangster because she refused to turn in the Clintons. Round of applause to Susan McDougal. Round of applause to Susan McDougal. Round of applause. All right, relax. Let me finish this because I got to go to the Puerto Rican Day Parade today. I'm getting ready to do me, then I got a yacht cruise. I got a few things going on today. Now, so check it out. They locked this young man up because he refused, to testify after he took immunity. So that means that everything that he said to get that immunity that was so tasty and mouth-watering and, a fang dripping thirsty to the government that they felt they could use against Young Thug, they can now charge this man with everything that they told him they couldn't charge him with, but that's because he breached the immunity agreement. If you give your word to something and then you violate your word, then that means that all bets are off, and that person, whether it's in a court of law or it's on a street corner or it's in a classroom, is free to do whatever they want because you back to the negotiation table, and it's up to them if they want to negotiate or not. So that means that right now the state is going to stick it to him because he breached the agreement by pleading the fifth. Now, Young Thug's trial, right? But let me explain about Susan McDougal and about, Little Woody, a.k.a. Kenneth Copeland. They locked him up and said they're going to bring him back Monday. They figured they'll let him sit in jail for the weekend so he could watch the four walls close in on him and the old, dirty, dusty, tobacco-filled smoke walls, change colors in front of his very eyes. And by Monday, they'll bring him back and they say, did you get enough time to sit and think? Or, we got to play this game. Now, if he don't testify on Monday, agree to testify, they're going to lock him up, and they can keep him locked up until after the duration of Young Thug's trial, because that's a violation of the trial. So during the time of the trial proceeding, they can keep you locked up if, they lock you up for contempt. until after it's over. That's the way that play out, just so you understand. So this young man is in a world of trouble right now, and now let's say the trial lasts another 6 months, a year. That means he have to stay incarcerated for 6 months or a year when he's already labeled a rat bastard because he sat down to have the immunity agreement, with them and to be debriefed, and gave them all the YSL information that they felt they needed, why they could use him to bring down YSL and Young Thug, period. So do you think that this dude is going to stay strong and stay in jail for another 6 months to a year, however long this trial take for it to play out, or do you think that he will fold like the rat bastards, But big bro, no disrespect to you, but I'm just giving it to you raw. Once you sat down and started, being debriefed by them and giving them that information, you're forever labeled a rat. You not testifying, you're still a rat. The trial is over, you sit in jail 6 months, you sit in jail a year, or they let you out Monday, you're still labeled a rat bastard. I'm just giving the facts, and I'm giving the rules and the code because I gave 26 years of my life for this, and I don't like to see it being trampled and, all these fugazi debates they be having. Bottom line is, you sit down with the government, you're down with the government, and you can't come back on the other side. There's no, set tripping. You know what I mean? You can't jump from this set to that set, from the government to the street. Period. That's why I say don't get involved in crime. Don't get out there so you don't have to put yourself in this situation. And you already know, cop the merchandise. We got that shut the F up shirts because you have the right to remain silent. You understand? You had the right to remain silent, but you chose to sit down with the government, what them on the streets call the devil. So you went to make a deal with the devil, and don't forget, when you stand in front of the devil, you already have on gasoline drawers in hell, and you could be set ablaze at any time. So right now, what the government is doing is they're setting that black ass ablaze because you was crazy enough to think that you could make a deal with the devil when you are on the streets hustling and doing your thing. Bottom line, they just want a conviction so that they could move up the political ladder to say that, beat on their chest, that they took down Young Thug and YSL and Lucci, and they made Gunna look crazy, and this is what's going on. So that's all it is to them, is a conviction. Now, either you help them with that conviction or you sit in jail until after the trial is over. It's only a couple of months, my nigga. 5, 6 months. You know what I mean? I did 5 years in solitary confinement. They got you there. They might keep you 5, 6 months, and you think it's going to restore your honor? My nigga, it's not going to restore your honor. It's just going to give you talking points. Talking points to be able to try and defend that you're not a rat bastard because you didn't testify. But you obviously gave them enough information, whether you went to the grand jury or you was debriefed to give it to them, to get an immunity, meaning non-prosecution for anything that you say about your comrades or even if you implement yourself. You are a rat bastard. Let's get that straight. Let's not play any games with it. You look good, you know what I mean, for the other rat bastards that want to try and justify and hold fake ass content on YouTube and social media. Well, he didn't testify. He gave them more than enough. That's why they gave him immunity. Stop it. Stop it. Don't get involved in the street. Stop playing these games. You can't sit down and make a deal with the devil and think that you're going to win. You will never win against the devil because the devil only have one motive, and that's to take us off the street. Look how they going after. Let's ride. Let's ride. Look what's going on. I just did a couple of videos the last couple of days. Go back and look at it. Look how they're taking Diddy down because he made a deal with the devil, which is the corporate people. He made a deal with them. Once he made that deal with them, that was it. Now, They gave him their part of the deal and allowed him to make $1 billion. Now he got that money and he said, damn, but I got $1 billion and y'all made 20 billion. You know, I'm supposed to get more. You know, y'all putting all this money into promoting your liquor brand, but not putting the money into promoting my liquor brand because you only own 50% of my liquor, but you own 100% of the other two brands that you got. Huh. So you telling me that you not satisfied, Mr., Sean Combs Diddy. You know what I mean? You not satisfied with us putting $1 million in your pocket coming outside of Harlem / Mount Vernon to Hollywood to having us to throw $1 million parties and $5 million parties and get politicians and big entertainers and everyone there, and you got these videotapes, Mr. Combs, and these videotapes are very valuable to both you and me, but we'll rather them in my possession, is what the government told them. So now the government got it. They're going to look through these tapes and they're going to selective prosecute. You know how you rat bastards say that you got, dudes is selective on who they say is, a rat bastard and things like that because they don't understand the code. So if it's something they don't understand, they just like to run their lips because they want to be Stevie Wonder and Mariah Carey. They like to sing. So that's what they do. But for you to fully understand, you cannot sit down with the government under no circumstance and make a deal and then think that because you don't go in court and you don't testify at the trial that you're no longer a rat. No, you was a rat when you agreed to sit down with them. And that goes for anyone. And we're not rat bastard bashing. I'm just telling you the facts so that you could identify these rat bastards because they come around you and they got these elaborate reasons why they decide to crawl on their belly like the rotten snakes that they are. And you entertain it. And you want to entertain it. Because 9 times out of 10, the rat bastard that you're entertaining, he has something you want. Whether it's a job, whether it's work, whether it's access to the studio, or even if you're a rapper, you know what I mean? Or an actor, actress, whatever it is. That's the way that play out. But once you sit down with the devil, I'm going to say it again, Mr. Kenneth Copeland, you're now officially branded a rat bastard. I think the government, right? I think the government should do what I saw done in one of the videos where they grabbed the dude in the prison and they wrote, rat or snitch across his forehead and tattooed it. They're supposed to walk around with a brand that says snitch. So when we deal with them, we know right off the bat by looking at them, because a lot of people that they manipulate and trick that don't really understand, the codes of the street. So if something sounds good, they go with it. But if they got that brand on their forehead, you understand? Just like you got the Fendi brand, the Gucci brand, you need the rat bastard brand. That way, as soon as you see, the guy say, oh, those are Versace's. Oh, that's the Cuban link. It's identified. We need to be able to identify these rat bastards for the people that don't really know the street, so they know to stay away from them, because you never know when a rat bastard is going to come at you and try and do something. So let's just stop it. Let's get it right. You understand? So don't say you didn't hear it first here in Unique Mecca Audio. If you sit down with the government and then you refuse to take the stand and plead the fifth, you're still considered a rat bastard. There's no intertwining and intermingling with the government and then say, oh, let me pull back. I want a do-over. Let's act like I never ratted. Can I get a fresh start, he says? No, my brother. That's why the judge treating you like, go sit your ass in jail for a minute. You don't understand. You tried to duck going to jail, so you must have forgot what it's like to be in jail, and you come in here, and then now you want to violate my court after I done presented you, the government presented you to the world as a rat bastard. And then now you're trying to make us look bad that you're not a rat bastard. Like if we did something wrong and we're doing something undermined is what the government is saying. So for that, Mr. Copeland, aka Little Woody, you will be punished to the fullest extent of the devil's law. When you chose to run the street, carry a pistol, do what you do, run with the crew, do this, do that, you picked a side. Now you can't pick a side, and then when they put the handcuffs on you, and now you say, "Oh, that wasn't me. I don't know what happened. I wasn't supposed to do that. They got the wrong person." You know what I mean? I can tell you about, Ivor Lucci. I can tell you about Young Thugger. I can tell you about this one. I can tell you about that one. Don't lock me up. Please don't lock me up. I can't go to jail. I can't go to jail. You did all of this blood clot crying. You did more whining than a Jamaican belly dancer. You did more wailing than Bunny Wailer himself. You know? And then now you think you're going to come up here in our courtroom and disrespect us to make it look like we're doing something undermined when the world already know we're doing undermined things in our courtroom. But now you're making us look bad. Let's take a ride. All right, let's take a ride. Let's take a ride. Now, that's the same thing, right? Let me give you another scenario, because, I like to ride, That's the same thing, like that happened, during my trial. Huh? You see? You know what's funny? We got rat bastards that say I'm Mr. Incredible because I got all these stories, because my life was that incredible, Mr. Rat Bastard. Now, check it out. During my trial, I had a co-defendant that, he was charged with murder, a couple of murders. Multiple murders, Now, when they came at him, they said, "Hey, you're looking at life in jail. You could be a stand-up man like Unique, and, we, put you in the gas chamber, electric chair, lethal injection, whatever. We gonna get rid of your black ass if you think you're gonna be strong like Unique, And all he thought about was him dying, but he didn't think about the people that he murdered. Crazy, isn't it? So now he says, let me save my ass and let me work for the government. So he went working for the government, and then when I ran into him, we talking through the bars, and I let him know straight up. I said, you know that you just violated and disrespected your whole legacy by sitting down with these people. You wanted to make a legacy on the street as a murderer. You did that. And then now the government catches you, and now you tarnish and break and poison that legacy by sitting down with the government making a deal. They wound up giving him 6 life sentences. Now, when he comes in the courtroom, he's supposed to testify. I said, I would call this rat bastard for a witness. Hey, you know what I mean? I wanted to call him for a witness to show how the government break a sucker. You understand? So now, the government found out he was going to come in there and blow the spot up and let it be known that, he didn't really want to work with him. They coerced him, and that means that they forced him to do what he did. So now when he does that, he comes to the courtroom and he gets on the stand. And, before he get on the stand, he's talking about getting on the stand. So he says that, let me see how this thing played out. I got to remember, because this was a while ago. It was just so funny. You know what I mean? But anyway, so he comes to the courtroom, and before he get on the stand, the government must have talked to him, debrief him, and he told the government straight up, yo, if you put me on the stand, I'm gonna let them know straight up that y'all forced me to do this. You know what I mean? This and that didn't happen. You wrote a script, and that's what happened. I'm doing a video, babe. Call you back. Yeah, you understand? So that's where it's at. Now, that was my beautiful daughter. Happy birthday, Janique. Her birthday was 2 days ago. We celebrating today. But anyway, so check. He decided he wasn't going to work for the government no more, and he wasn't going to testify, and he wasn't going to this, and he wasn't going to that. But I had to remind him, family, you're still a rat bastard. But he said, nah, but I just want to do the right thing because I should have ran into you before so you could let me know the code and the jewels that you've given me. I didn't know I violated, but never will I put another man in jail. I'm going to just take my 6 life sentences and go lay down, man, and just die in these people prison because at least they ain't going to kill me, but at least I have something to talk about that I was willing to go on the stand, or I went on the stand and told, you know what I mean, and blew the government case up. That's what it is. Let me give you one, too, about him. See, I'm trying to watch what I give you because you rat bastards, you're tricky. You're real tricky and slimy. You're worse than scum. You know what I mean? But, you know, I got to deal with you because you're here. You know, and the crazy part is you come to people's channel, you know, and you look for faults. Why don't you just put a mirror in front of your goddamn face and look for the faults within yourself, and you work on those faults and you better yourself so that you can be better than the man that you're coming to look to hate on. Just a suggestion to you rat bastards. You know what I mean? But anyway, so he goes and he testifies this other trial because he told on this one case, right? He told them that, yeah, me and such, I went to go buy some keys over on 156th Street, up on Broadway, between Broadway and Amsterdam. We went to go buy the coke. When we went by the coke, I took him up there. He got the coke. We brought it back down to Virginia. We this and that. So they made him a co-conspirator and charged the two of them with conspiracy. So now they didn't have nothing more than this rat bastard saying that they went to go make this deal and they brought these drugs and that. So when it was time to go to trial, dude goes to trial, and when he goes to trial, he walks in the courtroom and he tells them straight up. You know what I mean? He tells them straight up when he walked in, right? He said, look, ain't none of that happened. The government told me to say it. We didn't buy no coke. My man should be free. And that's the end of that. Blew the case up, as they call it. You know what I mean? Like a big explosion. Government completely shocked because the key witness, the only witness they had, he goes in there and said, you told me to lie. You told me to say that. So, of course, the dude beats the case and he goes home. You know what I mean? And, you know, my man stayed in with his life sentence, and right now he's living happily ever after in prison as a bona fide rat bastard. So, Mr. Copeland, riding back to you. You can't get that stigma off you, my brother. Those spots is on you for the rest of your life because you chose those spots when you decide to sit down with the government. Anybody don't understand that? Anybody that don't agree with that, you're on the right track to being a civilian. Go to school, get a job, and stay away from the street shit because you're not made for it. Because bottom line, under no circumstances you tell on somebody, even if your life is put to death. Let me take another ride real quick and tell you about, Colin Powell. This is Colin Powell. Right? Colin Powell, he was asked, we starting this back in the 90s. He said, we're starting to lock up so many people. We're getting ready to get a million, people in prison, and we need to do something. Instead of putting them in prison, why don't we do like we did in the 70s and allow them to go in the military so they go to fight in the war, because at that time the Gulf War was coming up. And then Colin Powell looked in the camera and he said, why would I put these guys to fight in our military when they told on their own comrades? So if they get caught on enemy lines, they will tell on us. If they told on their comrades, some tell on their mother. So what are we going to do from it? You see what I'm saying? So Colin Powell said, man, leave them rat bastards where they at. You know what I mean? They said, no, but we got good guys like Unique and they're straight men. And he said, nah, but then if Unique over there, he might turn the gun on us. You know what I mean? So leave Unique black ass where he at, too. You know what I mean? But what about the rat bastards, he said? He said, nah, we definitely can't use them because, like I said, they don't told on their right hand, their comrades, people that fed them, did everything for them, and now we're going to let them out of jail and tell them to go fight for us overseas in these wars, and we expect if they get caught on enemy line for them to be stand-up men, and soldiers. Nah, it'll never happen. So that's the way that played out. Cop the book of Roy in Harlem. Been on here long enough. Just wanted to give you all that real quick. All right.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, yeah. He back on the strip, getting back in the mix. Yeah. What he mentions a gift. Rush. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Yeah. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Real. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community yours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the root men.